Okay, so now we're on to word problems. So word problems with systems of equations. And I think we're spending 2 days. Day one is money problems. So these all involve coins. So a system of equation word problem is a word problem where we need two equations to get the answer. The first equation will be about the number of objects. And the second equation will describe the value or how much money they're worth. So remember that one day we did that thing where I had coins in a box and I had you guys guess how many there were? This is now we're actually going to solve it for real without having to guess. Okay, but let's do a little review about how to turn words into algebraic expressions or equations. So how would you guys write this? Let's use N for nickels and we'll use D for dimes. So how would you guys write out the number of nickels plus the number of dimes equals 40? So go ahead and write that down. I would say N plus D equals 40. All right, let's try 2. How would you write there are 6 more nickels than dimes? There were 6 more nickels than dimes. Now this one's a little tricky. If there's more nickels, it's going to be nickels equals dimes plus 6. This says 6 more nickels than dimes. This is one that people have trouble with. They never know which spot to put the N and the D in. Okay, if you guys notice on 3 and 4, now we're talking about money. So when you see a dollar sign with money, we're going to have to attach the value of the coins with it. Okay, so number 3, the value of nickels plus the value of dimes is $4.65. Okay, so I need you guys to know how much nickels are worth. How many cents are nickels worth? And hopefully you guys would say 5 cents. Okay, so nickels are 5 cents. And then how much is a dime worth? And you guys should know that that's 10 cents. Okay, so when we talk about the value equation with money, it's going to be 5 cents for every nickel plus 10 cents for every dime equals $4.65. But because we wrote these as 5 and 10, we're going to move this decimal place over twice as well and call it 465. Let me explain that a little bit better. So nickels are worth 5 cents, so that's 0.05 N. And dimes are worth 10 cents, so that's 0.10 D. And then that would equal $4.65. But decimals are a little bit harder to work with than integers. So what we really did is we moved each decimal place over twice to get 5. We moved this one over twice to get 10. And we moved this one over twice to get 465. You guys feel free to do this one, but I think it's easier to just move everything twice. I think it's easier to work with, but it's up to you. All right, number 4, the values of dimes and the values of quarter equals $25.10. Okay, so we're talking about value. Dimes are worth 10 cents each, plus quarters are worth 25 cents each. And then because we moved the decimal 2 spots, we're also going to do it here and instead call this 2,510 cents. Okay, so notice the difference. When we're talking about the number, we just put the letter. When we're talking about value and money, we attach the value of each coin. All right, now we're going to set up our first word problem. Okay, so notice this is very similar to the one that we did in class. Jack and Betty have 28 coins that are nickels and dimes. So should we write that right away? So let's write our first equation here. How would you guys write this? Nickels and dimes, there's 28 total. It doesn't say anything about value. It doesn't say anything about money. It's just there's 28 coins made of nickels and dimes. So the first equation would be N plus D equals 28. Okay, so the first equation is going to be about the number of coins. And then let's keep reading. They keep their money in a safe in the bedroom. The combination is 35, 46, 72. Who cares? We're not breaking in. Oh, here we go. The value, the second one's about value. The value of the coins is 195. So when it says value, you got to attach money to each coin. Okay, so if it's made of nickels and dimes, nickels are worth 5 cents, plus dimes are worth 10 cents. And then because we moved the decimals twice, we're going to call this 195. Okay, and now you guys can use elimination, substitution, or graphing to solve this system. Okay, I'm not going to go through it because this is review. I would probably do elimination, and I would probably multiply the top by -5. I think that might be a nice idea because then you'd get the -5 to cancel with the +5. Actually, let's go ahead and solve this one. So go ahead and pause it, and let's see what happens. So if we distribute a -5 into the top, we get -5n, -5d equals -140. And then the bottom I'm going to keep the same. 5n plus 10d equals 195. Okay, and then you guys can finish off elimination, add going down, and we'll be able to solve for D because the n's will cancel. I just want to check my multiplication real quick. 28 times 5, 140. Okay, so we're going to add going down. 5n and -5n cancel. 10d plus -5d is 5d, and -140 plus 195 is 55. So we can see that D is 11. So we have 11 dimes, and now we need to find how many nickels. So we're going to plug 11 back in. I'm going to use this top one, and it's going to be nickels plus 11 equals 28. And then if you minus 11, it looks like we have 17 nickels. So 11 dimes and 17 nickels. Now, since it's a word problem, we should write the word. So final answer, you really should write 11 dimes, 17 nickels. That would be a good final answer. Okay, let's try one more. We're just going to set it up. And this one's a little different, so I actually want you all to stay with us here and do number 2. We're just going to set it up. Okay, so we're going to set up a system. One equation is about the number of coins, and one equation is about value, how much money they're worth. Okay, and this one's a little bit harder. All right, this one, right off the bat, we're starting with value. Ming has $4.45 in quarters and dimes. That's a value. So we're going to put that in the value spot. So quarters are worth 25 cents, and dimes are worth 10 cents, and we're also going to move the decimal 2 spots to make 4.45. Okay, now we need to write an equation about the number of coins, and this one's different. How do we write this? She has 8 more quarters than dimes. How should we write that? She has 8 more quarters than dimes. So if she has more quarters, it's going to be quarters equals dimes plus 8. That's the number equation. 8 more quarters than dimes. Okay, if you guys would like to stop here, this is a good spot. For anybody who wants to see, I'm going to go ahead and solve it. So feel free to stop or feel free to keep watching. Okay, so to solve this one, I'm thinking actually substitution. Because if Q is alone and equals D plus 8, then that's a great substitution into Q in the second equation. Okay, so I'm going to sub that in for Q. So we have 25 times, well, we're going to replace Q and sub in D plus 8, and then copy the rest down. Remember substitution? And then we're going to distribute and combine like terms and go ahead and solve. So we have 25D plus 200 plus 10D equals 445. And we're going to add like terms and get 35D plus 200 equals 445. And then we're going to subtract the 200 and get 35D equals 245. And if you divide, we get 7 dimes. And then if you plug it back in to get quarters, let's see, I'm going to use this one. Quarters is going to be 8 more than dimes. So 8 plus 7 is 15. Okay, again, word problem, let's put units. 7 dimes and 15 quarters. That would be your final answer. Okay, nice job, guys. We're going to practice these money problems a little bit more tomorrow.